What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. Now, on last week's Chord Progression Monday, we happened to look at 5 popular chord progressions. And in this week, we're going to take one of those progressions, kind of spice it up, level it up, extend the harmony. So the chord progression we're going to look at is a 1-6-4-5 progression. And it's not the most exciting progression, you know. Right? Very common progression, and when you kind of play it like that, you're like, meh, maybe not, right? So let's check out what we did with it, and we'll come back and we'll break it down. Alright, so I am in standard tuning for this, and down in the description below you can find a link for the tabs. Alright, so what we did, we're doing a 1-6-4-5 chord progression, okay? And if you saw last week's chord progression Monday, we went over a couple of different versions of this, and essentially it's a 1 chord, and we'll put it in the key of C, and it's a 1 chord to its 6th chord, which is A minor, moving to an F chord, moving to a G chord, which is your 4 and 5, right? Very standard chord progression. Now, I had mentioned that, you know, that's not really my cup of tea. The type of music I like to play and what I enjoy writing is not so much those kind of basic chords in their basic form, kind of open position, right? I love the extended harmony, mixing in some dissonance, mixing in some open strings, mixing in some colorful notes. So let's look at what we did to kind of spice these chords up. All right, so if we come in 8th position, the first chord I did was a C major 7 chord, right, which is C, skip a string, 9, B, E, okay? That gives us a major 7 shell, right? And then I also added F sharp, a note slightly out of the key, but it doesn't really change too much, just adds a lot of color to it. And then I doubled the open E up top for a nice texture sound. Open strings always sound good when we do that. Okay, so then I moved down to A, and what I did here, A, 5 on A, skip a string, the G, 2, right? Very nice, kind of like 7, sus. It's a little ambiguous, but the intervals are a root, a flat 7, a root, a 9, and a 5th. Right, so you want to call that a minor 9 with no minor 3rd in it. Yeah. Kind of sussy sounding, maybe. Maybe we're using the B as not as a 9th, but as a 2nd. Sounds really nice. And then we took the F chord, and I've always been a big fan of lifting that bar and playing the 2 high strings open. And that gives us another major 7 sharp 11 chord. But this one, I kept the open strings, open D, A, and then the B and the E. Sounds really nice. And then for the G chord, very simple alteration on the G chord. I took a standard open position G, jumped up, put my middle finger on A, kept the open E, right? So it's G, D, A, D, E, right? Have a 9, and 2 to that chord. So we still have that same bass movement. And then we repeated that. And then instead of going right to the G chord again, I jumped up and we did an inversion. I grabbed B, G, D. Nice little reverse inversion G major chord. And I kept the open B and open E with it. Giving a little bit of a tension half-step resolution right there, back to C. So there you go. That's how I like to do things to my chords, right? You take a very standard, popular progression that I probably wouldn't play in its basic sense, you know, and extend the harmony, add a lot of color, open string dissonances to it, and it just kind of brings it up a level, and it's really, really nice. So I hope you guys dig that. Down in the description below, you can find a link for the tabs, and as always, let me know what you come up with. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.